Hi, everyone. My name is Lydia Martinez. I am the founder of L Marketing and Events. And today I wanted to talk to you about something that is so incredibly powerful, which is user-generated content. Um, it's also called in marketing shorthand UGC. So sometimes you'll see UGC and you're like, what is that? It's user-generated content. I really learned about the importance of user generated content when I was at Whole Foods Market. I was their marketer and event planner, and we would kind of regularly invite food influencers, bloggers, people like that to come into the store and get a store tour, get a swag bag full of stuff. We'd hold influencer nights and have a hashtag for it, and those all worked really well. But when my user generated content really started taking off at Whole Foods Market is when I invited one of these amazing food writers. She was a recipe creator and blogger, to come and teach live cooking classes once a month. Her name was Sally, Good Dinner Mom, and she did just an amazing job of connecting with people in the community, bringing them into the store for a live cooking class. And she was just a natural in front of people, explaining how to do things, what to do, how to cook, all those different types of things. We tried this with a bunch of different people. My good friend Moody, who is formerly with Lizzie's Kitchen, he would come in and teach a Lebanese cooking class. He did a great job. We worked with Becky Rosenthal from the Vintage Mixer. And so we would bring in these amazing people that had this great community following, and they would help promote the class to their people, but they would also turn around, and we had this collaborative thing where we would work together. We'd publish their recipes, we'd share them and create beautiful recipe cards for them to hand out at their classes, things like that. It was really, really effective. And then people were taking photos during the class, which was another form of user-generated content, where the people taking the photos were tagging us, they were tagging them. We always had all the social media handles on cards that we gave out at the beginning of the class, and it was really, really successful. User-generated content is an amazing way to gain instant trust and likability. So in marketing, we always talk about some pillars that people have to know, like, and trust you. Another way of saying it is that there has to be awareness. They have to know you exist. There has to be affinity. They have to like you. And there has to be authority. They have to know that you can do what you say you're going to do. All three of those pillars, know, like, and trust, come into place for your customers when they see content generated about your brand by another user, by an influencer, by somebody that's experienced your brand. It vaults you past those three things that you have to accomplish in the first place and makes you very, very legitimate. And so it's a way to, when people are posting about you or your brand, it gives them an opportunity to really know and understand who you are, what you're about, what the experience will be, what people will experience when they come into your location, things like that. So let's talk about types of user-generated content, because a lot of people think it's just like, oh, it's an Instagram post and it's from an influencer and I have to pay for that and it may or may not be good. That's not the case. User-generated content can be so much broader than that. And as a matter of fact, I think it's often more effective when it doesn't come from an influencer, when it comes from just a regular person that loves your product. So yes, user-generated content can be photos or a social media post or a tag, somebody visiting your physical location or somebody tagging you in a photo, things like that. Yes, absolutely. But it can also be a video that somebody took. It can be a testimonial. We love getting recordings of our clients actually talking about what it is that they do and what it is that we've done together. So them recording themselves talking about you. So video testimonials are amazing user-generated content. Reviews, those organic reviews that happen when they're positive reviews, that's user-generated content, and that content is gold. Another one is live streams. So very often you will see people on social media or sometimes other platforms doing a live stream in a certain location. A lot of times they'll geotag it, or they will tag the business that they're talking about, things like that. And they'll do it live. They might do it on Reels, they might do it on stories, on Instagram, they might do it on TikTok or YouTube. Even Facebook has the ability to do live streams. Or it can be a more formal scheduled live stream like this one that's almost like a vlog, a video blog. Podcasts are user-generated content. A lot of times podcasters will chit-chat about what they're liking, what they're seeing, what they're doing, what they're watching, what they're eating at the beginning of a podcast. It's one of the reasons people tune in. They like hearing that. And so if you get that mention in somebody's podcast or you're a podcast guest, that's user-generated content. Blogs, YouTube is another great one. So all of those different things, think of those as user-generated content. News articles that feature you could even fall into that category of user-generated content if it kind of happens organically. So let's talk about how to incorporate that content into your marketing strategy. First of all, one of the things that I would do is set up a Google alert for your business and set one up for your name. I have Google Alerts set up for both. We also set these up for all of our clients. If our clients are location-based, where they're only servicing people within a certain location, they're not likely to appear in national news or something, we'll also set one up that's location-based, that's specific. That way, anytime you're mentioned online, you kind of get a notification. There are also AI listening tools out there. They do cost money, but they'll like listen in on virtually listen on social media posts, see what people are writing or saying about your company, even if you're not tagged, if you come up in a mention. Another way is like really pay attention to your social media accounts. We always monitor social media accounts almost every single day. Monday through Friday, every day. And then on the weekends, we usually won't monitor directly. But I do have clients that are really busy on the weekends and they monitor themselves then. Always check for mentions, tags, questions, reviews. And so if you see that a photo has been taken and somebody tagged you, you should catch that quickly. If somebody leaves you a great review, catch that quickly and then share it. All those things are opportunities to showcase who you are, what you do, and how you do it. And so that can be really important and also really, really useful to like gather that content and then push it out in other directions. So those are a few different ways on how to incorporate that user-generated content. Some things to be aware of that are important. Always ask permission. If you're using somebody's photo or video, they've tagged you, don't just assume automatically that you're allowed to take that content and use it. We always try and just ping them and say, hey, love this photo, mind if we share? That is the best practice. You don't want to be accused of stealing somebody's content. I had one client who purchased a company from another person. And one of the reasons why my client made this purchase is because their Instagram following was massive. Come to find out that the reason why their Instagram following was massive is that they were stealing other people's viral content and posting it as their own. Big problem, guys. Big problem. And they were stealing it from like nonprofits, like even worse. And then these nonprofits were getting angry asking them to take the video down. They weren't being credited, they weren't being tagged. The original owner said it was public domain content because it was posted on social profiles, but that doesn't really hold up. And it created a lot of bad will that we had to spend a year fixing, that we just didn't know or understand during the discovery process because we didn't see all these messages from all these angry nonprofit partners. So think about that when you're thinking about user-generated content. Even if you technically could do it, should you do it? Is it the right thing to do? And a lot of times people don't mind if you just say, hey, I'd love to share this. Do you mind if I share it? I'll tag you and give you credit. And so that is the other thing, the part 2 of that. Be sure that you're always giving credit. If you did not take the photo, if it is not yours, tag whoever did. Sometimes this even goes for employees as well. You know, if your employees are generating content, they're taking photos while they're out and about working, we tag them at L Marketing. And that might be something that you want to do as well. Talk to your employees and ask if you have permission to share their posts or share their content as well. And then if they would like you to, tag them. Sometimes employees don't want you to, though. They don't want to be associated with it, and they'll say, go ahead and use it, but just don't tag me. I don't want anybody to know my personal Instagram. That's okay too, but have the actual conversation. Again, user-generated content is an amazing way to build that know, like, and trust factor. It's an amazing way to gain followers, gain engagement, showcase what you're capable of, and have people really trust you on a very deep level. And so I highly recommend, this is low-hanging fruit, I highly recommend that you incorporate this into your marketing strategy. And if you aren't currently getting user-generated content, reach out. We'll help you put together a strategy for actually starting to work with different users, different influencers, different people, and to start collecting that user-generated content for your business. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you have any marketing questions, please do reach out. We've got contact information in the comments below. Have a great day, everyone.